So today I am making chicken stock. Yesterday, I know it looks pretty gross, but yesterday I made chicken and dumplings and I used a whole chicken. So right now I'm just letting the carcass, some onions, carrots, peppercorns, bay leaves. We don't like celery in this house. I know it's weird, but so there's no celery in here. But the normal aromatics, salt, pepper. I did use distilled water and canning salt because I'm going to can this up tomorrow. So I'm just letting this cook all day long on a low simmer. And then I will put it in the fridge tonight. Tomorrow morning I will skim the fat off it. And then reheat it so it can be canned. So there's really not much to this process, you know, just letting the chicken and the bones and everything just kind of, you know, simmer and get all the flavor. And then of course after it's done, before I put it in the fridge, I'll strain everything out so that, you know, all the you know, these pieces here, like the cartilage and the fat and everything, will be strained out of it. So that is my next canning project, and it will be pressure canned because it's low acid. So just wanted to show you what's on the agenda for today, although, you know, there's really not much for me to do for a while. So anyway, I will be canning this up tomorrow, and then I'll have the video up for you. So I'm just waiting for the broth or chicken stock back there to get nice and hot. It's getting there. And my canner is, there's water in there and it's getting it going. I got my little station set up. So we're going to be getting going on canning up this chicken stock here very soon. Alright, so my broth back here is super hot. As you can see the steam. And I got my jar. I'm going to do a few 2 or 3 quart jars, but the rest will be pints. I did my best to get it as clear as possible, but there's still like a little bit of sediment that seems to have wanted to make its way through. But since I'm doing a couple quarts, this will can for 25 minutes. It'll can for 25 minutes. We'll have 1-inch headspace. And so really, I mean, there's not a whole lot to canned stock, you know. You just kind of fill your jar. I don't even have to remove bubbles because it's a liquid. And there it is. Here's the 1-inch. Super easy when it's all liquid. Get my rim. Get myself a lid. Ring. Fingertip tight. Go ahead and get this in the canner. I haven't decided if I want 2 or 3 quarts. So let me do a couple pints to see where I'm at after I do a couple pints. But yeah, I mean, this is super easy. The longest, hardest part of this is, you know, obviously letting it cook all day and then having to strain it. I didn't have cheesecloth. I thought I did, but I guess not. So I used paper towel and coffee filters to strain out some of that sediment, and for the most part it did, but there's still a little bit in there. And then this morning when it was cool, after sitting in the refrigerator overnight, I scraped off about 90% of the fat that was at the top. There is still a little bit because, you know, it adds flavor, so I left a little bit, but for the most part, all the fat is gone, and all the sediment is gone. It's just a little bit. So, is it the most clear broth in the history? No. But it's delicious. I think that's the real important point, is that we have a delicious broth. I cannot wait. And pretty soon here, I think I'm going to end up going to buy some beef bones and do the same and make some beef stock. Because it's really convenient to have your own homemade broth just ready to go whenever you need it. And I would really like to have that for with some beef. You can never have too many. Too much of a good thing. But yeah, as you can see, this is fairly easy. Well, super easy, actually. There we go, 1 inch headspace. Wipe the rim. It's hot, hot, hot. The lid. I ended up using about 1.5 gallons of water. Some of it did end up getting, you know, because there was so much sediment at the bottom this morning that I did that very last little bit. I could have probably waited for it to strain, but I didn't, because I didn't want to get any more sediment. So I just went ahead and pitched it. So I could have gotten a little more, but I mean, about 1.5 gallons is really yielding me a lot right now. I'm on my 3rd pint and I already have a quart in there, and maybe I have about 1/3 left in my pot. So it really is yielding a lot. I think after this pint, I'm going to have to go ahead and do the other quart if I want another quart. And that might actually be the end of it. The rim. Because there's fat in this chicken broth. Not a whole lot, you know, I took most of it off, but there's a little bit, so I don't want it to affect the seal. The lid. This in here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just can up the rest of this, and I'll bring you back when the canner's full and getting ready to start. Okay, so look at that. We got 2 quarts and 5 pints. It's a great amount. I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, that was pretty quick, pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on here, crank it up, let it vent for 10 minutes, put the weight on, and then since I have quart jars in here, it'll process for 25 minutes. Had there not been quarts and it was just pints, it would have been 20 minutes. But go with the one that it has the longest time when you have mixed jars like this. So I'm going to get it going, crank it up, get it venting, and get it processing. Alright, so everything just got finished processing and cooling down, and I'm going to go pull them out. It appears that all of them are already sealed. It doesn't look like I lost any fluid, and the water looks clear. So let's go ahead and get these pulled out. Looks so good. Very, very nice. Oops, there's my timer. And you can see at the bottom there's a little of that sediment that I couldn't get out, which is fine. I mean, and they look great though. Beautiful color. Very, very nice. I'm excited. They turned out great. Look how pretty. And you can see there's just a little bit at the bottom. No big deal. Home canning isn't perfect like commercial canning. Alright, so look at that. We got the 2 quarts and the 5 pints. Everything looks great. They're sealed. So they're just going to chill out here for the next 24 hours, and then I will wash the jars and put them away. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.